guys enjoyed the last episode on cultural celebration and mental health. If you haven't, go check it out. And if you like to DM us any ways you celebrate culture, any questions you had for the last episode, that would be good. And if you can do that with this episode as well, we'll be taking questions and answer it in the next episode.
Today we're going to talk about integration, cultural hybrids, and speak briefly on the biases in our culture.
Correct. So I guess with integration, we're referring to assimilation, or rather failure to assimilate. One of the aspects of assimilation that changes, I guess, within culture is language.
Yeah.
So sometimes we sort of mix words, like Arabic words with English words, you know?
Yeah.
Like this girl's miskin over here.
Whoa.
Right. And food is a very big part of it.
How do you think food is a big part?
Well, just judging from Twitter, everyone's concerned about what people eat. I guess that's a big sign that...
Is that cultural food, or is that more like, because I'm not really in the food game.
You're not in the food game?
I am in the food game because I eat, but like I'm not like in the food Twitter world.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, in Twitter, it's basically like, if this person eats that, then don't talk to me. But
you guys put too much Z on everything.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. It's perfect amount.
That looks like coronary heart disease.
That causes
looks
disease.
Looks like a blocked artery.
Hey, at least it's not communia, bro. Communia is disease in itself.
Chill.
Well, you eat communia?
No, I don't. But like,
that's
relax.
what I thought.
So family sizes. I don't think people. Yeah, everyone's grandma's like, I have 10 kids.
Yeah, but now I guess it's
I'll have 2.
Is that how many you're having?
No, what the hell?
What?
Can't ask me that stuff.
All right, okay, my bad. Well, yeah, so family size, but that's just because the way the Western culture is set out, it's more like a individual sort of living lifestyle,
Yeah,
so
and because of that individual aspect of the Western world, I think we get more independence.
Right, yep.
Than our parents would have had.
Right, and we have different obligations as well.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Names?
Yeah, names.
People choose to go by different names, whether that's easily pronounced or, easily understood. But I think the funny thing is, like, there's a lot of people who, in the Australian culture, that want to have kids with unique names. So it's like the inverse.
I feel like those are the hippies, though.
It's the inverse. Like, it's so funny because
but I don't see any white people with Sudanese names, bro.
No, but I feel like there will be in a couple of years.
You reckon?
Like, one time I was with my friends and, like, you know how all these white girls have lists of, like, baby names?
Right, yeah.
She put my name on that list, man.
For real?
I was like, let's go.
Jesus.
You know
all
what?
Right.
That child is unborn yet, but, like, it's already my godchild. For real. Thank you. Cultural pride.
Right.
I think people take different, Do you think, are you as prideful as your...
For me, honestly, like, one thing I'll say is that all my opinions about me, I don't really try to speak for other people. But in terms of cultural pride, like, I'm proud that I'm Sudanese and all that. But I see myself as an individual. I just see myself as an individual, to be honest. Like,
You're just a human.
Yeah, that's me. But I'm still with the culture.
I think it varies, but I think everyone should have cultural pride.
Right. Yep.
I think you should be able to have pride in both cultures. Because they both play a huge part. I mean, like, look at me. I have this Australian accent. So
we often get roasted for that, though.
I do, yeah. But, like, things happen. It's okay. I'm tough.
All right,
I'll handle it.
Right.
What are some factors affecting integration, do you think?
So I think the main factors that affect, like, assimilation into new cultures is ultimately your willingness to do it. Like, your willingness and your environment. It's like nature and nurture. So for me personally, I feel like with assimilation, it took me a long time before I actually sort of started adopting Australian culture. One, because of my surroundings, as you were saying. Yeah. I was surrounded with a lot of other Africans, especially Sudanese and Ethiopian and all that. So we had our own culture with us. So we had
you kind of like stay in the circle.
I stayed in a circle. Yeah.
I lived in a very white neighborhood, white school. Like, I think at my primary school, my family was the first like ethnic family there. So like for a long time we were
Did you feel like you're ever missing out on the culture?
All day, every day, man. I was 12, like, oh my god, I wish we could just move. I hated it, but like I loved it at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like I got a healthy balance because here in Victoria, we have like 2 weeks holidays between each term, and like I'd see all my cousins and get a dose of the culture then. Right.
So what are some highlights, like, just taking us, you from the other side of the spectrum? What are some highlights from that side?
I think for me, it's very interesting. I had my friend from uni ask me, do you think you have racist friends? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I felt like so offended, you know? I was like hurt, like, do I don't know. But then I thought about it, like, most of my friends from primary school I'm still friends with now. And I know there's no way that they've known me for, like, you know, over 10 years. And like, like, I think that stuff would have, like, come out. But even so, I think my friends just see me as an individual. Like, I don't think my skin color is a factor. And I think it's, you know, for both.
Right.
I can tell the difference when like, say, white people approach me and want to be my friend,
as opposed to,
and I can tell when it's not, like, when it's genuine and when it's not,
because of, you can pick up on that. It's cringy, isn't it?
For sure. Oh my god. What are some cultural events and practices that have, like, I don't know, maybe haven't been able to integrate or have been?
Oh, definitely. I got one for you guys.
What do you think?
It's for all my bros, all my homies out there. Dowry. We all sort of having an issue with dowry lately because...
Lately?
Yeah, lately. Well, it's
getting
because...
married, Ahmed.
Nah, hey, keep that on the hush. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not getting married.
Yes, he is. That's why he's, like...
Speaking about dowry, right?
We should crowdfund your dowry.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Go fund me. I'm trying to get married.
Go fund me. Fund my wife.
Right. So, like, yeah.
Put it on Afterpay.
For us, for Afterpay, right? For us, it's like, for us guys in Australia, you know, like, imagine me, like, I'm finishing university. I've already got this huge debt on me. Yeah. And then you want to add another 80K debt on me. Like,
but it's not like that.
It's not big. Yes, that's how it is. Like, I'm not against the culture. I just think the way you apply the concept of dowry needs to change to fit.
Well, you fill in your forms.
Yeah, exactly.
Your application. I'd like to marry your...
Give me a hex loan or something, no interest.
Get a bank loan.
Because it's crazy. Like, it sort of slows down, you know, how we progress through life. But
I think dowry, like, isn't it... I don't know much because I'm not paying no dowry.
Yeah.
But isn't dowry set up so it's like, you know, your uncle will be obligated to pay X amount on your behalf?
It's a family thing.
Yeah. So it's not just you paying 80K.
That's correct, but
still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, and also because in that would work in back home, but in Australia it's sort of changed, it's tweaked up a bit, like the amount is revved up, you know.
And like there's fines and stuff. Fines. You better not, you know,
it's
get them pregnant out of wedlock, bro.
Exactly, you gotta pay
that's another
fine.
That's another 5K.
It all adds up, you know.
My cousin got married and like it was out of wedlock and everything, and because she took her car, like you know how they do the runaway thing, she ran, like she drove there, and he got a fine because she took her car.
Jesus, man. Actually, speaking of that, I have a friend that she was actually married before she even knew it, like, you know, and in the dowry had already been like spent already, so it kind of caused a little bit of, I don't know, like, if it caused much of an issue, but you can see the kind of issue that it poses, like, you know, but that's a whole nother topic of...
Do you think dowry has become more about like money?
Yes, definitely. It's a business for sure.
In the Australian context?
For sure. Really? It's a business because there's more finance, like there's more money to play with here. So it's like they take advantage of it. But do you think,
I feel like, you know, my peers who will be getting married.
Right.
Not me.
Yes, she is.
Like, I don't even think that it's like, I don't even think they're comfortable with just being treated like a piece of property.
That's
like
true.
that.
That's a very good point. That's a good point, but I don't think they'll argue as much. I don't think they probably would fight it. They probably would fight. Some of them do.
I think definitely. I think the most would be like.
You reckon most of them?
What are you talking about?
Most,
I'm definitely worth 100K.
I see. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. But
ramp it up. I have a double degree. That's funny. Geez. Interracial dating. Have you ever interracially dated?
No.
Ahmed?
No, wait. No. What?
Have you?
Yeah.
Been in an interracial relationship?
Yeah, but like when you said interracial relationships, what I was thinking is like black and white, but I didn't consider like...
Say you're in like a, you know, just dating somebody from like West Africa or, you know,
you
Kenya.
consider
that's
that
interracial dating.
Do you think so? I kind of disagree with that. I think like...
Intercultural, I guess.
Intercultural for sure.
But I think it's still like the same bridges and barriers.
True.
It's still the same breaking into a culture and like, you know, coming from two different worlds.
I can see what you're saying, yeah.
But I think for the most of us, everyone who stays in the culture is like into tribal marriage.
Yes, into tribal marriage.
Yeah. And I think it's always tougher on the wife than
Yes, definitely, of course, because if she's going to another tribe, she's got to drop her customs.
Not only because, like, even if you're just marrying within your tribe, there's still a bunch of expectations for your, like, a newlywed wife.
Right.
And, like, just, yeah. Like,
I think that's the whole culture. Like, you got, basically,
so,
you
like,
see
that's almost doubled if you go out of your tribe.
Okay.
I think so.
Mate, what about white people, though? Sydney's going to a white household. I feel like the skill she has is, like, going to be overwhelming to that family.
Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like because like white families, they don't expect that kind of things. They probably raise their kids to be equal more so, and if they see the girl doing way too much, they'll be overwhelmed. So I think it's easier to integrate into some other.
So you think it'd be easier for an interracial interracial marriage between a white and a black person than and a black intertribal dating between two tribes?
Yes, definitely, of course. Come on, you gotta agree with that.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Very interesting.
Cultural appropriation. That's an interesting topic. Honestly, I kind of feel weird saying that.
Do you think it's PC?
I kind of feel cringy when they talk about cultural appropriation sometimes. Like,
do you think it doesn't hurt you that much?
Sometimes it's just over hyped, sensationalized a bit. Like, for me, I've been seeing a lot of white kids with braids and cornrows lately, and like my first thought is, hey, it's funny. I don't care.
Yeah, but you're like, your hair is not built for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny. It looks kind of funny, right? But it's cool. But like,
have you guys seen those Asian videos where they
get, like, the guy got a whole fade from his hair, bro. Like, this guy went crazy with it. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't really like. I know there's some people that will look at it and be like, what the hell are they doing? Like, I don't have that kind of strong.
I don't have it in me to be mad all the time because like that ruined my day. Yeah, like I'm trying to be happy and all that.
Exactly.
But I do find a problem with
there's some lines to be drawn, of course. Yeah. When we talk about drawing lines, you know, it gets to the realm of like fetishizing like black features, you know.
Yeah. Which happens to both black men and white men. I mean, black men and women.
Definitely. But I think it's sort of different though. Like for women, it's more like we fetishize features about them, and
but not actually the person.
Not the person, not the woman herself. But with black men, it's more like, I guess, a whole package thing. I guess. So if that makes sense.
Do you think that changes how, how they're emotionally treated?
I think emotionally, and as well as just in a whole relationship wise, I feel like black men are more desired than the black women. Like, cause like she's picked apart.
Yeah, but like, so say black men are more desired, but it's like, because you're saying that it's fetishized, it's not coming from like a genuine source. Like, you wouldn't want to receive some love from somebody who just wants your feature. Like, he's only with you because Kim Kardashian has a black boyfriend, so I want a black boyfriend too. It's a very shaky foundation.
It is.
To build a relationship on.
And we see that on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Instagram and like YouTube have kind of accelerated that whole thing. Like, even for a moment there, it was like trending to be an interracial couple on YouTube. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Yeah.
And it's like people will do it just for the clout, as you kids say. You know what I mean? For the clout.
Wow, people be doing that.
I think so.
Their lives.
I think so.
They play with their lives like that.
I don't know, but I think it's fundamentally hurtful.
All right. Okay.
Sexism in the culture.
Oh, sexism, yes. I'm not going to deny that exists.
From a male perspective, how do you think that sexism has affected you?
It's easier to talk about girls because it's more apparent.
Yeah.
So, with girls, we kind of already touched on this before, but yes, there's a lot more expectations from the girls than the guys growing up in our culture, right? But with guys, we still have our what would I say? Biases, maybe?
Yeah.
So, and those biases in the forms of responsibility and pressure. We have a whole bunch of pressure later on. Like, growing up, the guys don't have much expectations. They're allowed to do. They're not held to the same accountability.
I think that's really unhealthy because it's like you're expected to meet this huge, staggering standard.
Right.
And it's like you haven't actually been taught the skills and the way to achieve that. You know what I mean? I know that there's a lot of like, mums who, as soon as their child, gets to a certain age, it's like get married and start a family, but it's like they're actually not even ready for that. You know what I mean? They actually are still a kid and haven't grown up.
Right. Do you think that's still a problem where we are now in Australia.
I think it's a problem.
Yes, it's definitely a problem. Like we've mentioned
I think
before.
there's a lot of boys that rush into starting a family and are not ready. Because they're expected to. They're at the age where they should. Wow, but they're not ready psychologically. They don't have the skills to be a father.
The father,
their parents, right? But it's because they're grown. Like you have so much freedom, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah. Oh. Like I think a lot of boys have a lot of freedom in their childhood.
In comparison to girls, yes.
Yeah.
In comparison, for
sure.
So
like all that, BS that girls cop.
Yeah.
You learn how to, handle yourself, and you kind of, mature at a lot faster.
So do you think most boys are just basically not ready or not prepared?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people having kids who.
Like I do.
Yeah, a lot of guys playing family. I'm a dad, but it's like I don't know if you have the skills to be a father.
I think that's a whole other episode because I have a lot to say about that actually, but we don't want to kill the episode.
We'll go into that.
We'll go to the next episode because family structure,
yeah.
All right, so I guess moving on, I guess reputation in our culture is a big thing. People care a lot about how they're seen.
People love social approval.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of aunties will care more about what their friends think of their house and what they have, their car.
Materialism.
Rather than raising their children. Right. You know what I mean? It's about your clothes that you wear to the fundraiser or whatever. Rather than the things that matter. True.
And oftentimes it can get to a point where you're throwing people under the bus, literally, even your kids at times.
Yeah. There's a lot of gossiping that goes on. Yeah, like there's anyone else's mum just always on the phone.
On the phone, just
damn, who do you speak to? I don't even know if it's one person or different people.
True that.
But I don't think gossiping only happens with aunties.
Oh, you mean uncles sitting outside
uncles
drinking shy?
As well, and I think even us. Our generation gossip a whole lot.
I don't know about y'all, but I stay in my own lane.
You guys remember African Pals?
Oh, I was an observer.
Pals, all of that, what I mean? I think people gossip.
True.
I think gossiping is low key. It's a terrible thing, but it's like part of.
It's part of the culture for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's like not only an auntie thing.
Yeah.
Not only aunties on Facebook Live.
They kill it though. They kill it
on Facebook Live, sending threats.
No shade to anybody's aunties.
I think people. Yeah, I don't know. I think our parents don't respect our privacy.
Yeah, definitely.
In the way that we want them to.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a stay out of my room, Mom.
Yeah.
That's a white kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But
this is my space.
Yeah. But I think it's very important for us too to have our own privacy.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a longer episode because some people requested a bit more content. But
all we want to do is start the conversation.
Yeah,
know what I mean? So
our purpose is to spark conversation. Yeah. So we can't always go into depth as some people want, but if you can talk to us on Twitter, start a thread.
The conversation on Twitter.
Exactly, we'll respond on there. That's how conversation. That's the effect that we're looking for, as opposed to sitting up here for an hour.
Yeah, we'd be here for ages just talking about one of these points.
Exactly. So yeah. So on that side note, what will we be talking about next episode?
Next episode, we're going to discuss returning home and experiencing the minority-majority dynamic.
That will be interesting, yep.
Families.
Yes, family structure, traditional models, modern structures, sort of,
And what's the future, what does that look like for us?
Definitely.
So
and I want to touch on about support as well inside the Sudanese community. So stay tuned for that, as you're saying.
Make sure to DM us on ways you experience and celebrate culture, and questions, queries, comments, feedbacks, all that.
Yeah, all that. Get involved as much
in
as
the
you
DMs.
can. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess.
Thanks for listening.